This is Jared Horak for today'sracingdigest.com, and my Today's Racing Digest video series continues Saturday, January 19th, 2019. We're going to look at some of the Lecomte Stakes races from Fairgrounds, and I'm going to give my top value win contenders for some of those races. Let's jump right in, and let's do the 10th race from Fairgrounds for January 19th. The Colonel E.R. Bradley Handicap, a mile and a 16th on the turf course. Some of the contenders in here. Number 2, Big Changes, would be a big contender if he would run in this spot, but he's also entered in the Sunshine Millions at Gulfstream Park on the same day. His connections are leaning towards running in that race. If they do go in this race, he was 5 for 7 with 2 second-place finishes last year. Joe Bravo would ride. From that inner post, he would probably be aggressively handled. A horse to consider underneath will be number 5, Team Colors. He likes to sit back, make a late run, and I don't know if he's quite going to get enough pace help and if he's good enough to win a race like this, but he's certainly good enough to pass some tiled rivals and maybe hit the board at a bit of a price. He's 8-1 morning line. He can certainly hit the board and maybe complete the trifecta. The horse to beat in here is the 8, Great Wide Open. He's 2-1 morning line, and he's been on a roll from the front end in turf routes recently. So he's going to get out there. He's going to hope to control the pace, and if he can do that, if he can get out there, slow things down, he's going to be tough to catch. But I think there is a horse that can catch him if he is ready to run off of a layoff, and that's my value top choice, number 4, First Premio, 7-2 morning line. You go back to last May at Churchill Downs at this distance on turf. He ran against Great Wide Open. He added blinkers that day. He stalked the pace, and he ran right past Great Wide Open. That was an excellent effort. He got a 101 fire number. The fire number for today's Racing Digest is speed throughout a race. He got a 156 CPR. That was a strong number. The CPR is the comprehensive performance rating, which takes into account pace, final time, and closing fraction, and he earned a 150 final rating that day. So those were good numbers. Trainer Mark Cassie has been having a good meet at the Fairgrounds. I think he's going to set a good stalking trip, and he might be able to go past Great Wide Open again if he is ready to run off of a layoff. Let's jump to the 11th race at Fairgrounds for January 19th, the Silverbulletday Stakes. For 3-year-old fillies, a mile and 70 yards on the main track. This is a Kentucky Oaks 2019 points race. Some of the contenders in this one. Your morning line favorite, number 4, the Aura, 5-2 morning line. She improved her numbers in all of her races last year, and she stepped up and she beat Restless Rider in the slop at Churchill Downs in the Grade 2 Goldenrod last year. She hasn't run since then. Now, she's 2 for 2 at this distance, but she's going to have to prove that she can run that same kind of number on a fast track. Another one that needs to prove that is number 5, Needs Supervision, your second choice at 3-1 on the morning line. She ran well in all 3 starts last year with a couple wins. But again, another one coming off of a nice win in the slop in a 1-turn mile at Churchill Downs. That was a 37-1 upset in that one. So now she's not going to offer nearly as much value, and she's going to have to show that she can run that same kind of race on a fast track. Cowgirls Like Us is 9-2. She could take some money in here. She won her last 3 stake starts at Retama and Remington Park. She's got some running style versatility, but her numbers are a bit light. So I'm going to go for my value top choice. I'm going to go to the outside, number 7, Mandy Blue, 9-2 morning line for trainer Brad Cox. Now she started her career in a dirt sprint, and she rallied to win that race. So that was a nice effort. And then she came back and she ran in a turf route at Fairgrounds on December 26th. She rallied, she won that race, and she improved her Today's Racing Digest fire number, CPR, pace, and final rating in that race. Now her trainer Brad Cox, he has strong stats with turf to dirt runners and dirt route runners. She's got a nice pedigree. She's going to stalk the pace from the outside, and I think she can pull off the mild upset in this race. But finally, we're going to go to Fairgrounds Race 12, the Grade 3 Lecomte Stakes, a mile and 70 yards on the main track for 3-year-olds, and this is a Kentucky Derby 2019 points race. There are multiple contenders in this race. Plus K Parfait, number 12, is going to be your tepid favorite in here. Nice effort last time in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes from off the pace. It's got running style versatility, but that race was in the slop. Not sure how strong that race was. It's going to have to work out a trip from post 12. Number 8, War of Will, is interesting. He ran in multiple graded stakes races on the turf as a maiden, and he wasn't embarrassed in those races. And then in a sloppy main track race at Churchill Downs, he broke his maiden on November 24th, getting a 140 final rating in that race. He's got a strong turf pedigree. Don't know how he's going to handle the fast dirt, but if he catches a wet track again, he could be tough. And it's possible that he runs a good race on faster. We'll have to see. He's still a bit of an unknown commodity at this point. The 3 Tackett, he's one that can be used. He might be the best local hope in here, coming off back-to-back wins at Fairgrounds around 2 turns, but he is stepping up and facing better horses. Number 11, Tight 10, he was a good 2-year-old. He won a stakes race at Saratoga. He hit the board in the Iroquois Stakes up on the pace. He was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He had an uncomfortable trip. Now, speed horses can be dangerous in these kind of races. I would expect that he's going to try to go out there, but some other horses have speed, like number 13, Manny Wah. He added blinkers in the Sugar Bowl at 6 furlongs last time out. He's stretching back out in distance. He should be up on the pace with a few others as well. Royland from off the pace, if you're playing exotics, number 7 can be used. He also exits the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. He rallied to finish 5th. He's adding blinkers. He's working well. Maybe he can hit the board. But the horse that I'm going for on top in this race is going to be number 4, Mr. Money. Now, Mr. Money is trying to become the 4th next out stakes winner from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He finished 4th in that race. Now, 3 horses from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile have come back, and they have won Kentucky Derby points races in their next start. Signalman, he won the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. Mind Control won the Jerome at Aqueduct earlier this year, and then Gunmetal Gray won the Sham Stakes at Santa Anita. So all those horses have come out of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. They've won points races. Now Mr. Money tries to do that. Now, before his last start, Mr. Money stretched out in distance, and he earned the best 2-turn fast track Today's Racing Digest speed number in this field. And he broke his maiden at Churchill Downs that day, and he got a 137 final rating right before the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And he wasn't embarrassed in the Juvenile, which has been a productive race. He has 2 local bullet workouts for this race. He's going to stalk the pace. I like his inner post position. His trainer, Brett Calhoun, has strong stats with horses returning from a layoff of 60 days or more. And I think that Mr. Money at 5-1 on the morning line is an interesting value win contender. So my top 3 value win contenders in these stakes races, I'm going to go with number 4, First Premio in the Bradley Handicap Race 10. I'm going to go with Mandy Blue, number 7 in the Silver Bullet Day, Race 11. And then I'm going to go with number 4, Mr. Money in the Lecomte Stakes, Race 12. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave some comments. Who do you like in these Lecomte Stakes races at Fairgrounds for Saturday, January 19th? If you're interested in the digest for Fairgrounds for this day, go over to todaysracingdigest.com. The Lecomte Complete Digest at Fairgrounds is only $2, so go over there. You can get that at todaysracingdigest.com. My Santa Anita full cards are available each day at todaysracingdigest.com. And then you can also read my Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks blogs each week at todaysracingdigest.com. That will wrap up this week's video. I'll be back next week with another stakes race from around the country.